Now the last time I started a video, it was with the announcement of an iPhone 8 giveaway. Well, since then things have gotten bigger and better because now we're giving away an iPhone 8 Plus. How can you win one? Check the description to know more. And don't wipe that smile already because you are here to know more about Suzuki's latest offering. So you and I, let's do this. A smaller derivative of the iconic Intruder, turning the same silhouette. This is the all-new Suzuki Intruder 150. I am Varun Painter, you are watching Power Rift, and today I shall be telling you all that you need to know about the baby Intruder. The Intruder 150 looks a lot like the Elder Intruder, of course. A similar looking headlamp setup, a rear that resembles the Elder, same rim size both on the front and the rear. This is Suzuki's first low-capacity cruiser here in India. But they have limited the Intruder feel to just one thing, the looks. Because almost everything else that the Intruder gets is from the Gixxer. Alright, first up we'll talk about the engine. Loved it on the Gixxer and I love it here too. It's the same 155cc mill with the same power and torque figures. The gear ratios also have been tweaked for more bottom and mid-range runs, and that matches the stock curve very well. The throttle again is responsive and the transitions remind you so much of the old Gixxer. And with rounded tires, which are a straight fit from the naked Suzuki, riding this around the canyons was an absolute delight. With that, let's talk about the ergos. The ergos on a cruiser are all about comfort, and the baby Intruder doesn't disappoint. You have a really big seat and a very relaxed riding posture. And when you do tuck in, you have this all familiar Gixxer console that welcomes you. The suspension unit on the Intruder is the same that we see on the Gixxer. So you have 41mm telescopic forks on the front and a monoshock at the rear. But Suzuki claimed that the damping on the monoshock has been tweaked internally. The OEM setup is tilted more towards the stiffer side, and that is also one of the reasons why it's handling so well around here. However, when you hit a patch of bad road is when you realize the need to switch to a slightly softer setting. And you can do that because the monoshock at the rear is adjustable for preload. And since I've spoken about bad roads, let me also talk about the ground clearance. Because at 170mm of ground clearance, the Intruder shouldn't have a problem taking those down. So what is different then? The brake setup, but not entirely. The disc size is the same as the Gixxer series, but instead of Biber at the front and Nissin at the rear, the Intruder gets Biber for both front and rear. The disc on the front, and there's a disc at the rear, and the rear disc is coming in as standard, not as an option. Plus, with the safety backing of ABS, a single channel ABS, Suzuki has taken a step with the Intruder in the right direction. However, I wish the rear had a bite as good as the front brake, since the dynamics of a cruiser make you use the rear a lot more often. The chassis has been tweaked and the swing arm has been stretched to suit the frame of a cruiser, and that has resulted in better stability on long roads. What has gone down though is the fuel tank capacity. Since this was a very short ride, we really couldn't test the fuel economy, but Suzuki claimed that you can expect about 44 kilometers to a litre. So that amounts to a full tank range of about 450 to 480 kilometers. And suddenly the 11-litre tank on the Intruder, it doesn't feel so small anymore, right? What has gone up is the weight. At 148 kilograms of curb weight, it is 8 kilos heavier than the SF FI ABS variant and a whole 13 kilos more than the standard Gixxer. You only feel it when you get it off the stand, but all of it disappears when you hit the road. At Rs 98,000 ex-showroom Delhi, it is almost 18,000 dearer than the Avenger Street 150 and about 10,000 more expensive than the Avenger Cruise 220. While the Intruder gets an LED projector lamp and ABS, it still sits at par with the top-spec Gixxer SF, which gets both ABS and an FI system. And with that, I hope I've answered it all. But if you have any more, then you have the comment section to yourself. Feel free to type them in and I will gladly get back to you. But hey, what does the Intruder go up against? And how does it fare? Stay tuned because that is coming up next.